Hi, welcome to Mulligan Speaks. I'm Annette Mulligan, guiding you to live beyond your diagnosis, own your health, and create clear dialogue between you and your doctors. Today I want to, in a way, continue with the topic of you and change. Last time I talked about identifying what are some primary areas that you know you need to make some changes in. I think I said pick 3. And of those 3, pick one that is the priority that you need to take care of ASAP. And then you were to write down what is keeping you from making that change. What's holding you back? What are you afraid of? What's stopping you from making those changes? And then I encouraged you to write down what would happen if you made those changes. What could be different in your life because you took those steps and made those changes? Well, today I want to take it a little bit further. So let's say you've decided, I'm ready. I'm going to make the change that I need to make. Pick that one thing that you know you need to focus on to make a change in that direction. So what do you do next? There are 2 different things that I want to encourage you to do. Number 1 is knowing your why, and number 2 is the setting your goals for that. It is really important that we have a purpose, a why, a theme, if you will, to our lives and to why we do anything. What encourages us? What motivates us? What makes us take action and step forward in what we know we need to do? When I was younger, much younger, I finally met a doctor who was taking very seriously the poor health that I was in as a type 1 diabetic. And he was very encouraging and very active in helping me to understand the whole idea of owning my health. He started to move me towards that idea. Well, initially I was like, not so sure what I want to do here. What he was having me do when I looked at it was going to be a lot of work. Checking my blood sugars, writing everything down, calling him and letting him know. There was a lot of work involved. And I said, initially at least, I'm not sure I want to do this. But then I had a real awakening, if you will, and talking to myself to say, of course you want to do this. First of all, I am a woman of faith, and I believe that I exist here for a reason and for a purpose. Secondly, it became very clear to me that I was not going to be able to live out that purpose or that reason or the meaning that I had in my life if I wasn't well. I did not want to be a diabetic who lost a foot or a leg due to neuropathy. I didn't want to be a diabetic who was hooked up to a dialysis machine because my kidneys had failed. I did not want to have heart issues ongoing for the rest of my life. I had already lost my vision or started to lose my vision at 21. I knew that there was just so much more that could happen if I did not get a handle on my diabetes and figure out how to manage it. And that's exactly what this doctor did for me. He helped me to understand it was my responsibility, but he helped me to set goals for myself, and he worked with me to allow me to accomplish those goals. And that was pretty exciting. But you have to have your own why, your reason, your theme for your life and what you want to see happen. 30 plus years later, I'm still living with that idea, with that theme that I have a reason, I have a purpose. There is meaning for why I'm here. I can't help other people if I'm not doing well myself. I can't help to guide others if I haven't gone through the situation and understand the emotions that go along with that. So I have my purpose and I have my meaning, And I remind myself of that every single solitary day. That is what gets me up and out of bed every morning. I have a purpose. I have a meaning. I want to help others to understand how they too can own their health and live beyond their diagnosis. So the second aspect is the setting goals. So of those ideas that you perhaps wrote down about what it is you know you need to change, what is it that's stopping you from changing, and what would happen if you actually made those changes. So now you say, I'm ready. Let's pick one thing and I'm ready to make a change. Where do I go from here? Remembering that any goal or any change that you make, you need to clear with your doctor first, with your primary care providers or your healthcare team. You need to make sure that this is sanctioned by them and that this is the direction they want you to go. But let's just say, for instance, that your doctor has repeatedly told you you need to get out and get a little bit more exercise than you're currently getting. This is a tough one. I get it. I understand. So you say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to start doing it. I'm ready. What's my first goal that I'm going to do? I know. I'm going to run a marathon. Woo! No, that's not. That's not what I'm suggesting or saying. When you set goals, you need to make sure that your goals are practical, realistic, achievable, manageable, and repeatable. So when you think about the goals that you're setting, you need to keep all of those things in mind. Is it practical for someone who has not exercised in years and possibly has some health issues to say, I'm going to go sign up for a marathon today? No. Is it practical, responsible, achievable to say, I'm going to walk around my block every day for the next week? Sure, great place to start. You need to decide what your particular item is and then set goals, start small, and then accomplish each of those goals and then start to build them. When I first moved to where I currently live, I said, you know what? I want to go for a walk every day. I live in a beautiful area and I'm right next to a community college. It has a lovely, lovely walking path. And the first time I went out, it was about a mile. Now, I had been active and busy and had been walking previously, but not quite that. And a mile isn't really a long distance, but it was up and down and it was through areas that I was unfamiliar with. But I said to myself, the only way I'm going to get familiar with this is to keep doing it. So I'm up to about 2.5 miles a day now when I go for my walks, and I try to go at least 5, sometimes 6 times a week. And I just love it. I love going out. I love doing that. I love challenging myself to just go a little bit further, a little bit further. But it didn't happen all at once. And so as you set those goals, pick just one and say, this is what I'm going to do right now. When you do that, when you complete the week of doing that, or the month of doing that, then consider, can I go further? Can I extend this just a little bit more? And maybe it has something to do with your medication or how often you're seeing your doctor or following up with some treatment or finding out more about your condition or nutrition. Whatever the case may be, set a goal, small, achievable, practical, realistic, manageable, and repeatable, and then work on that. And as you begin to succeed at that, you will be able to add more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then somewhere in that mix, you can add another goal. Maybe it's to do this. Maybe it's to work on this. But you have to take small steps in order to get to the bigger aspect of accomplishing a goal that your providers have helped you to understand and have helped you to set down. All of this, all of understanding your why and for setting goals and for reaching those goals is all in an effort for you to live beyond your diagnosis, to own your health, and to create that clear dialogue between you and your providers. Awesome, and that is my goal for all of you, or my wish, my dream for all of you, is that you can find that place and be there and to have a life that is meaningful and has purpose in it. So decide what your meaning and what your why is in life and move forward from there. Thank you for joining me today. As always, I'd love to encourage you to give me a thumbs up, a like, write a comment or a question. Share this with someone else who needs to hear it or on your own social media pages. And check out my website, amulliganspeaks.com. You can leave me an email, check out my other services, and upload the work pages for each of these sessions. Again, thank you so much. Be well and stay safe.